So let's talk about stress, the effects of stress, and how to manage it. And again, a lot of you already kind of come to the class, but like talking to Wayne about this and saying, yeah, reminders are good. I still appreciate the reminders from the yoga classes that I take and the teachings that I learn. So just a little bit about me. My name is Naoko, and I've been working in the customer service industry for over 30 years. My joy is really to see others happy and healthy, hopefully make them laugh a little. I have been practicing yoga for over 14 years now, and I just knew that there was something really special about the practice because, after yoga practice, I would just feel so good. And then if I don't go for a few, like a few days or a week or so, back when I was practicing regularly at the studio, my children back then were younger. They'll be like, Mom, you should go to yoga. So I knew that it was helpful for me emotionally and mentally as well, not just physically. And then, when I started teaching stress management for the Ornish program, it was neat because I was finally able to kind of connect and comprehend the scientific reasoning behind the positive effects of yoga for the body and the mind. So it's really my pleasure to share with you guys today just a short introduction to some of the things that I had the privilege to teach people for the past 3.5 years or so. So stress basically is 80% of all diseases. And actually this was pulled in 2014. So imagine 2020. I can't imagine the number is probably like 95% or 90%. It's exploded to an invisible 1 trillion health epidemic. So that's more expensive than the cost of cancer, smoking, diabetes, and heart disease combined. Stress is a factor in 5 out of the 6 leading causes of death: heart disease, cancer, stroke, lower respiratory disease, and accidents. And the UN calls stress the 21st century health epidemic. So sorry, it's a little doom and gloom in the beginning. It'll get a little more cheery. So the body reacts to these changes, right? So what is stress? It's basically your body's reaction to stressors. So the body reacts to these changes with physical, mental, and emotional responses. And you can experience stress from your environment, your body, and your thoughts. And these are called stressors. Stressors are situations that are experienced as a perceived threat to one's well-being or position in life, especially if the challenge of dealing with it exceeds a person's perceived available resources. So if you basically can't handle it or think you can't handle it. Stressors can be good or bad. And this is where you guys get to kind of chime in a little bit. Would you guys be able to put in your little chat boxes what you might perceive as a good stressor? I have to come back to see the chat. No one knows any good stressors? It's like crickets. I'm gonna play the Jeopardy music. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I can give you a couple of examples for a good stressor, and that would be, let me go back to sharing. So a good stressor, I'll give you a good example. My daughter graduated high school 2 years ago. She missed the 2020 craziness of graduation. And, it's such a wonderful celebration, right? To have your child graduate. Yay! But I felt so stressed out because I had to, if you're in Hawaii, you have to have a very big sign so that people can find you. And to create the sign is, I was scrambling to get lights from Target. I had to make sure that the picture was the right picture, that was in the big size. I had to get that printed, put that all together, and then, you have to factor the wind. So you had to get, make sure that the pole that you're getting, like there's just so many factors going into making this sign. Not to mention some financial stress of all of her friends also graduating, and having to, give out the cards and everything. So, again, it's such a wonderful, it's a wonderful celebratory thing, but I would consider that kind of a good stressor. Another example would be wedding, right? Just planning a wedding. It's again, such a wonderful thing that's happening, but it's very stressful. Buying a home, having a baby, all these things are considered good stressors. I don't think you guys would have any problems giving me some examples of bad stressors. Would you guys be able to put in the chat some of the things that you might consider bad stressors? Oh, Erica put winning the lottery as a good stressor. I don't know if that would be a stressor. It would just be good, right? Dealing with health challenges, loss of relationships, bad round of golf. Ryan can relate to that, Wayne. Um, COVID, right? Quarantining, yeah. Caring for your pets, yeah. Health related for sure. Financial, right? All those things, yep, definitely can be bad stressors as well. Oops, maybe out of that. So yes, work deadlines, financial burdens, all of those are considered bad stressors. So is stress bad for you? True or false? I make you guys think this morning. Erica says false. Is stress bad for you? False, false, false. We got some, maybe. So false is correct because we need stress for survival. Stress is really a normal part of life. So part of the autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system functions kind of like a gas pedal in a car. It triggers the fight or flight response, and it provides the body with this burst of energy so that it can respond to perceived dangers. And this works well in actual situations of danger, such as the classic prehistoric example of a wild animal chasing you. Have you guys all experienced that? Or a car just swerving into your lane. Or sometimes, like for me, when I'm driving and there's like an ambulance behind me, I get that kind of that, what do I do? Where do I go? How come the person in front of me isn't going? Like that short burst is good. So body's good at handling that episode of acute stress. So we're designed to recover quickly from this short-term stress. And that's how many mental experts define resilience. Basically, how quickly you recover from an acute episode of stress, your blood pressure, heart rate, breathing rate, and levels of muscle tension may skyrocket for a little while. But the body, however, isn't so good at handling chronic stress. So over time, chronic stress gradually increases your resting heart rate, blood pressure, breathing rate, and levels of muscle tension. So the body now has to work even harder when it's at rest to keep you functioning normally. So in other words, chronic stress creates a new normal inside your body. And this new normal can eventually lead to a host of health problems. And so the problem also is, and I know Melissa had mentioned it in her nutrition talk, is that sometimes you don't even notice it. That's why it's kind of silent. Your body kind of absorbs these things, but inside these things are happening. So that's kind of the danger of all of that. So perception versus reality. So our bodies and minds do not know the difference between a perceived threat and an actual threat. So if we perceive something as stressful, our brains release hormones into the blood. These hormones can change our behavior, mental experience, and physical functioning. If the threat is imagined, such as thinking about a potential encounter or situation that will upset us, these same hormones flow through the bloodstreams. So over time, these hormones use critical energy, causing detriment to our body and leading to psychological and physical problems. So I'm going to make you guys think again for just a second. So how many thoughts do you think we have on average per hour? Per hour. Erica thinks 800, 1,000, 1,500. It's just getting progressively higher. Oh, Joan went down to 40, okay. 100. Question mark, question mark, question mark. That's an honest answer, Wayne. So experts estimate that the mind thinks between 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. So that's an average of 2,500 to 3,300 thoughts per hour. That's incredible, isn't it? So out of those, 80% are negative and 95% are repetitive. So we're just thinking the same negative things over and over and over again. So basically, we take time for our daily personal hygiene. We brush our teeth, we take showers, hopefully. And so what are we doing to clear our minds? And one highly effective way to help with that is through a daily meditation practice. So a lot of doom and gloom, but we do have some good news. Self-care really helps to change your lifestyle. So the good news is if the mind can get you into trouble, the mind can get you out. Self-care needs to involve time to think your way through these stressors and to feel the emotions that come with them. So it also means paying attention to your emotions and giving care and attention to them. The specific activities that help with emotional processing kind of varies between individuals, but include things like meditating, journaling, talking about your stress to a friend or a therapist, saying a prayer, dancing, petting a friendly animal, exercising, listening to music, or just having a good cry. You can also do practices that trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest state. It helps to inhibit the body from overworking and restores the body to a calm and composed state, helping to decrease anxiety, regulating vital body functions, decreasing heart rate, blood pressure, lifting mood, and strengthening the immune system. So where to begin? A good place to start, again, is with a daily meditation practice. The beauty and simplicity of it is that you really don't need any equipment at all. So all that's required is a quiet space and just a few minutes each day. You can start with 5 minutes or even commit to 2 minutes twice a day. Preferably meditate at the same time every morning. So that way that'll help you to establish that habit. And then pretty soon, you'll always meditate in the morning just like you brush your teeth. Some benefits of meditation. So a team led by Harvard affiliated researchers at Massachusetts General Hospital reported that after 8 weeks of daily practice, meditation increased the brain's gray matter. So you're wondering, what is gray matter in the prefrontal cortex responsible for? The gray matter includes regions of the brain involved in muscle control, sensory perception such as seeing, hearing, memory, emotions, speech, decision-making, and self-control. So once you begin to kind of feel that positive change in the states of your mind, you'll begin to feel it throughout the day. Recommended practices, short practice of stretching, the yoga asana. Stretching can help with flexibility and protect our mobility and independence. It keeps the muscles flexible, strong, healthy, range of motion of the joints, and without it, the muscles shorten and become tight. Then when you call on the muscles for activity, they're weak and unable to extend all the way. So that puts you at risk for joint pain, strains, and muscle damage. So for example, sitting in a chair all day results in tight hamstrings in the back of the thighs. And that can make it harder for you to extend your legs or straighten your knee all the way, which kind of inhibits walking. Regular stretching helps to keep muscles long, lean, flexible, and this means that exertion won't put too much force on the muscles itself. So healthy muscles also help a person with balance to help avoid falls. Breathing is also a really great practice. So just checking in with your breath for 10 to 15 minutes for a midday break or just throughout the day. Close your eyes and just notice where you store the stress in your body. And as your breath becomes slower and smoother, imagine sending your breath to that area on your inhalation and just kind of imagine like a knot loosening as you exhale and just continue with that. When you come home from work or after a long day of being on Zoom, you can put your feet up. Doing a modified shoulder stand helps to bring blood back towards your heart and promotes that lymphatic fluid circulation. Relaxation response is triggered, the parasympathetic nervous system. Helps with insomnia, fatigue, reduces inflammation, helps with digestion. And of course, you guys know I love Yoga Nidra. That's also a practice, the body scan or progressive relaxation for 10 to 20 minutes. I usually use Insight Timer. I wake up in the morning, I'm already laying in bed. I just turn it on and just listen. And it's the easiest thing, but it always makes me feel so much more calmer and relaxed. And the imagery of visualization practice is also very helpful. I recommend doing that during your Yoga Nidra, your Sankalpa, setting that seed of desire, especially when your body is in that calm state. So just trying a variety of these approaches to find what sticks, what you enjoy. Daily practice works best, but if you do have a busy schedule, just try to aim to practice like 3 to 4 times a week, and don't give up if you feel like it's not working right away. We know these things are very subtle, these holistic techniques. They work like any other skill. The more you do it, the stronger you will get. So these daily practices help you to gain insight into yourself, helping you to gain perspective on your perception to the outside world. When one can change from within, their world changes and their environment is simply one's mirror reflection. And I always like to tell this story of, I read it in a book, I can't remember whose, but it's a story about a man and a woman who would eat breakfast every morning. And they have this beautiful window that they can see outside of. And she would always look out the window. Her husband always reading the newspaper as they eat breakfast. And she would always look out the window and see the neighbor's yard. And she would see the neighbor hanging up the clothes on her clothesline. And she would be like, you know, honey, our neighbor is so nice. But, you know, I think for some reason, maybe she's not using good soap or something, because her clothes is always dirty even after she washes it. And the husband looks over and he's like, oh, whatever. And so every morning she wakes up, same thing. She looks out the window. She's like, wow, maybe I should just take over some of my detergent. Maybe she's just not doing it right. One morning she wakes up and she looks out the window and she's like, honey, look, she finally learned how to wash her clothes. They're totally clean, hanging on the clothesline. And he looked out and he says, oh, I just washed our windows. So again, right, perception. Sometimes you might meet somebody who is very quiet, you know, and you're like, wow, this person must not like me, or you know, that person is stuck up. And then they text you or email you and it's like all these like emojis, and you're like, wow, this person actually is very friendly, but maybe in person they, you know, they're shy, or who knows, right? So again, somebody swerving into your lane, you might get really upset, you know, you might flip the bird or something, a little bit of road rage, but maybe that person was in a rush. Maybe they had to go to visit their person in the hospital. You just never know. So again, your environment, the way you perceive things, is really what's happening deeper inside. So that really helped, the practices really help you to get a little bit deeper. So we're going to be doing just a short little practice to kind of feel the effects of all these things that we talked about. So if you guys can, we can just do it in the chair, or I guess Lily and Hillary are at the beach. Maybe they can just sit down cross-legged. And just allow yourself this tall, grounded seat. So closing your eyes. And as you begin to breathe, just beginning to feel the weight and the gravity on your sitting bones, your legs, your feet, and allowing that beautiful foundation to give you that inner lift, lifting from the waist, allowing it to open up your chest, relax your shoulders, and just imagine your middle back, upper back, your head, everything kind of pushing back against an imaginary wall. So your chin comes back a bit. And you're just noticing the breath coming in and out through the nose. So with your spine tall like this, everything is nice and open, and you should feel the ease of breath coming in and out. And maybe just noticing the slight cooling sensation in your nostrils as you begin to inhale. Noticing the slight warming sensation as you exhale. And as you breathe, you really begin to ground yourself into this present moment. So again, whatever is happening around you, outside of you, you just start to come into your own inner world. And it's okay that the thoughts come or you get pulled away from different sounds, sensations. Just observe that and then come back to your breath. Slowly and gently beginning to deepen the breathing. And just starting to bring awareness back into this space. We're going to be moving into just a few gentle stretches. So again, just making sure you're finding that grounding in your feet, sitting just a little bit in front of your tailbone, and your abdomen is slowly tucked in and up. So gently allowing the chest to open. And as you inhale, elongating the spine. And as you exhale, slowly bringing the right ear to the right shoulder. Try to keep both shoulders nice and relaxed and breathe. Noticing the stretch on the left side of your neck and shoulder. Slowly and gently, as you inhale, bring your head back up to the center. And as you exhale, relax. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, this time the left ear coming towards the left shoulder. Shoulders are relaxed. Keep the breath flowing, noticing the stretch on the left side of your neck and shoulder. And then as you inhale, slowly bring your head back up to the center. And as you exhale, relax. Inhale, elongate the spine. This time the chin comes down towards the chest. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your chest open, and just breathe here. Sending your breath to any areas of tension that you might notice. And as you inhale, slowly bring your head back up to the center. Exhale to relax. And let's keep our chest open, spine tall as we move into some shoulder rolls. As you breathe, let's roll the shoulders in one direction. And rolling it into the opposite direction. Releasing any tension that you find there, shaking that out. And then just opening and closing the hands. So open them as wide as you can and then close them as tight as you can. Keep the breath going. Breathe. And let's make circles with the hands and the wrists. Again, in one direction. And moving into the opposite direction. And shaking all of that out. And then we're going to extend our feet, our legs, and just open and close the toes. Point and flex your feet. And make circles with your feet in one direction. And moving them into the opposite direction as you breathe. And just bring your feet back. Moving into our 3-part breathing exercise, bringing one hand to the abdomen and the other over to the chest. Gently close your eyes. And as you begin to inhale, let's slowly start to expand the abdomen, the ribs, and the chest. And as you exhale, slowly contract the chest, the ribs, the abdomen, and squeeze all the stale air out of your lungs. And just moving on your own for a few breaths. Inhaling to expand the front of your body. Exhaling to contract. And maybe if you're seeing, to maybe see if you can extend the breath just a little bit more, and maybe even pause the breath in between. Everybody's different in their lung capacity, but try not to overexert. You want to find an effortless effort in your breathing. But knowing this 3-part breathing will help to bring your heart rate, blood pressure down, helping you to cool your body down, cooling your mind. It's helping you to bring you into a relaxed state, a more aware state. And as you exhale, releasing the hands onto the lap, bringing your breath back to normal. And then we're going to be moving into the cobra posture. So bringing the hands onto the lap. Again, still sitting a little in front of the tailbone. As you inhale, let's slowly start to open up the chest. Look up towards the ceiling, just lifting your chin slightly so you can look up. Relax the shoulders. Start to draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Keep breathing into that heart center. Keep moving the chest in front of the shoulders. And breathe. Feel that arch in your back, toning of the back muscles. And then as you exhale, let's round the back, curling the pelvis and the chin towards each other, feeling the stretch in the back. Inhale, open up. Chest is open, looking up towards the ceiling. And exhale, round the back. Stretch the spine. Then just allowing yourself to come back to neutral. And we're going to be moving into shoulder stand. So just putting your feet up somewhere on your bed, your couch, maybe another chair, or if you have a stool. Resting your back against your couch or your chair. And gently close your eyes, feeling the rhythm of your heart. Maybe just beginning to notice the heart rate slowing down as you allow the feet to come up, blood to come back, relaxing your heart. Activating your parasympathetic nervous system. Helping to strengthen your immune system. This posture also really helps you to connect again with your inner self, helping you to find that insight, that intuition. and strengthening the bond between yourself and your inner healer. Asking your heart what it needs for healing, and asking your heart what it needs to be healthy, happy, and whole. And just giving yourself that moment to just listen to whatever that answer is. And don't worry if the mind is silent and you have no answers, just continue to ask and listen. Listen for your heart's desire. If you feel comfortable the way you are, you can stay for yoga nidra or deep relaxation, or if you feel like laying all the way down on the floor with your legs extended out in front of you, you can do that. Take your time, be comfortable, and just let your body be very heavy. This practice helps to release exertion from the body and the mind. So just imagine all of that tension, that exertion, releasing, and then just allow it to melt down into the ground. And just let the earth receive it. With your eyes gently closed, allowing yourself to bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, the Chittakosh mind space, and creating a short positive phrase, the Sankalpa, seed of desires, a resolve, something that you'd like to achieve or manifest. Allow yourself to find that phrase, and with full belief and full conviction, allow yourself to repeat that phrase to yourself 3 times. Allow yourself to release that phrase. Let's move into the rotation of consciousness over the body. Bring in awareness to all 10 toes, the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet, your heels, lower legs, knees, thighs, pelvis, abdomen, ribs, chest, your glutes, lower back, middle back, upper back and shoulders, Awareness to all 10 fingers, the center of your palms, backs of your hands, the wrists, elbows, shoulders, the back of your head, the crown of your head, forehead, eyebrows, eyes, nose, ears, and mouth. Just bringing awareness to your entire body, your whole body, your entire body. Beginning to notice the breath at the base of your nostrils. And just noticing as the breath comes in and out without trying to control that breath. Just observe the flow of breath. Counting the breath backwards from 15 to 1. If you lose count, go back to 15. If you make it to 1 before I speak again, starting back up at 15. Mentally repeat 15 inhale, 15 exhale, 14 inhale, 14 exhale. And just counting on your own, using your own breathing rhythm. Allowing yourself to release that counting and just bringing your awareness back to the mind space, the Chittakash. Recalling your affirmation that you created, the Sankalpa. And recalling the feelings that surround having that manifested. These positive feelings of joy and gratitude. With those feelings, allow yourself to repeat that phrase silently to yourself again 3 times. Slowly and gently begin to deepen your breathing, just bringing awareness back into the space. Maybe wiggling the fingers and toes, the wrists and the ankles. Taking deep breaths into the heart center. If you're on the floor, gently bending the knees and resting on your side. And taking your time, slowly and gently meeting back at a tall grounded seat, either on the chair or on the floor, for a very brief meditation practice. So again, finding that nice tall grounded seat with your eyes gently closed. Maybe you can feel again the middle back, the upper back, the back of your head, everything against that imaginary wall. You can use any props necessary on the floor to raise your hips up to make sitting a little more comfortable. Try to relax the shoulders. Allow yourself to find the focus. So whether it is a word that uplifts you, maybe the phrase that you just created, maybe you have a prayer or a mantra, or just follow the breath in and out. Favor your focus, but try not to suppress any thoughts, any feelings, or any sensations such as sound. Let yourself become aware of them and observe them. Just acknowledge them and come back to your focus. All with kindness and patience for yourself, no matter how busy the mind is. As an option, if you'd like, you can bring your awareness with your eyes closed to the center of your eyebrows, into the mind space. Slowly and gently beginning to deepen your breathing. Bringing your palms together over to the heart center, lifting the heart to meet the thumbs as you relax the shoulders, moving into our gratitude practice. So just silently thinking to yourself of things that you feel grateful for, whatever they may be. Be breathing in this feeling of appreciation to surround your heart, surround your body. Thank you all for your beautiful presence and for joining me this morning. The light in me honors and recognizes the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.